I've come to the world of Final Fantasy XIV to step into one of, if not the hardest, most grueling challenge and, as a new player, walk out with the most coveted title in the entire game. I want to tell the story of how I'll come to conquer the challenge that over 99% of players have not beaten. I'm here for one reason and one reason only. I want to become a necromancer.
Wait, that's it? That's all you're here for? Huh?
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Well, actually, you're probably wondering who this guy even is. I just wanted to say the thing. I'm Tandori, a silly and slightly deranged storytelling denizen of the internet with an itch for a new challenge. And the challenge that caught my eye has brought me here. So I manifested myself into the form of a totally uncommon and completely unique Viera player. Now, out of all the races available to pick in Final Fantasy, I had to settle for the one closest to a rat, because that's like kind of my brand. And also, rat, funny. But bunny rhymes with funny. Not to mention they're rodents just like rats. Oh my god, they're like best friends. So Viera was the obvious Well, why are some of you looking at me like I'm wrong? No, there's no way. There's no way I'm wrong. Wait. What do you mean rabbits haven't been classified as rodents for over 100 years? What even are they then? Laoganma? So with my purple eyes, a face full of freckles, and ears the shape of an angel's wings, I soar off into the world for the first ever time. Wait. Hang on just a second. First ever time, you say? I find that hard to believe, because here you are, over 900 days subbed, with a veteran reward rank of 4. You're just throwing a whole new player bid in for the sake of clicks and views, aren't you? Tell me, what gives? Now, don't subscribe to that idea just yet. I can assure you my little new player icon here is still very much intact. But let me give you the full story. It was the beginning of February in the year 2022. My friends been yapping to me about their time playing Final Fantasy XIV, but what should I expect? The latest expansion had just released only a couple months ago, and, well, one of them decided to make our entire hangout space their Final Fantasy Free Company Discord server. So with my forced exposure to the game, it was inevitable that I step in as well. But I had a funny little idea. What if I were to secretly begin playing Final Fantasy XIV on my friend's data center without any of them knowing, and later reveal my secret in video format? So I brought myself the Goblin, one of the 8 servers located in the Crystal data center, created my funny little character, and then I was met with my final choice. So I had to think. If I wanted to remain anonymous, then Tandori is out of the question, and with a first and last name required, it was never truly in the question to begin with. This character's name will make or break my incognito intentions. This character's name will be put into the storybooks of his journey to become one of the very few necromancers. This character's name is Tayn Douri. They will never find me now. Yeah, ballsy move to simply split and add 2 letters to my actual name, but, you see, I want to play on the edge. 2 whole years of staying on the down low whilst lying through my teeth and playing gullible. Just for this very moment.
Whoa!
That's insane!
That's so good, dude!
Holy shit!
You're crazy.
Can't believe that he's been among us.
Okay, but did it really have to take 2 years? Well, it would have been sooner, but I wound up spending a lot of time making a series about a 2-decade-old third-person shooter. And I will be totally normal about this series too, trust me guys. I was so busy with it, I didn't even play much Final Fantasy during those 2 years. The times I did were just logging on for events to grab emotes and whatnot, and I do love to surprise people when I can. That was my original intention after all. But during those 2 years, I realized it was more than just that. I had discovered my sheer and utmost dedication to none other vent a bit. Do not ever underestimate it. Which, by the way, I still need to keep up because this video takes place in 2022, so...
Alright, I'm on. I'm heading to Gridania right now. Where are you guys at?
I gotta go. And so I brought myself to...
The Black Shroud.
It doesn't actually look like that. This will be my questing zone until I check off my level requirement of 17. One of many to-dos on my list so that I may begin my necromancer journey. But as I was wrapping up a quest, somebody approached me. A higher level player opened a trade window and bestowed upon me 50,000 gil and an acorn cookie. Acorn cookie. I mean, they're giving it to me. I don't want to be rude. She tells me, have fun in Eorzea, and rides away, never to be seen by me again. The random gesture was very sweet, but I don't know if I could say the same about this cookie. Out of everything they have in a cookie, acorns? Must think I'm that other kind of rodent, huh? Oh, wait, right. Rabbits aren't rodents. I still can't believe that. Can this game just let me have a little bit of rat, please? I'd happily give this whole cookie just for a mere crumb of rat. Just a crumb. I appreciate the kindness, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think something like this is for me.
Ooh, what you got there? Is that an acorn cookie? Those are my favorite! People say they don't like them at first, but once they try it, they wind up changing their minds before they know it. Say, you're new here, aren't you? What's your name? Tayn Douri?
It's actually Tandori. It's a funny story, so what I'm doing...
Tayn! Welcome to Eorzea! Oh, you are going to have so much fun here! So, are you on the free trial? Oh, just wait until Heaven's Word. It is going to blow your mind when you get there. Lots of fun things to do with the Golden Saucer. Chocobo racing, triple triad, leap of faith. Just to name a few. Fishing a go sometime. Oh, and check out Blue Mage too. It's actually completely separate from all the other jobs. Tayn, stay a while and spend some time socializing with the people of Eorzea. Make sure not to rush the main quest line. You don't want to miss out on a story and lore so unforgettable. You gotta make a sweet outfit just like mine. And maybe something a little more whimsical. And the music is incredible. And it's full of MMORPG, poetry, fantasy, an advanced range higher convention hosted in Eorzea. So Tayn, with everything this world has to offer, what brings you to Eorzea? By the way, you don't have to stand up. You can have a seat with the city moat.
Well, I'm glad you asked. I've come to the world of Final Fantasy XIV to step into one of...
Oh, I love seeing Sprouts this excited. I wonder what all this new Warrior of Light will dabble in. Maybe he'll get into hardcore raiding. Or maybe PvP with that rework coming. I bet he'd make a good role player.
I'm here for one reason and one reason only.
Wait, what?
I want to become a necromancer.
Wait, that's it? That's all you're here for? Not for the story, not for the raids, not for the people, but to grind solo deep dungeon only to get necromancer?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Huh? Inconceivable! You'll be completely missing out on what makes Eorzea!
Sorry, but that's all I'm playing Final Fantasy for. Well, that and for the videos. I'm really planning ahead on this one.
Oh, please tell me you aren't skipping the story!
Don't count on it.
You'll miss out on all the fun to be had here. Surely you'll make a little detour.
Not really interested.
Come now, you're still new here. You're not ready to become a necromancer just yet. At least go out and try some... Okay, fine. It's not my place to tell people how to play anyhow. But before you go, let me tell you all about the lore of Palace of the Dead and Gelmoran civilization.
Oh my god, she won't stop yapping. Welcome to Palace of the Dead, the place I will delve deep into to come out a necromancer. But what is this place? And what is this whole necromancer thing I keep going on about? Well, to start, Palace of the Dead is the first of 3, well, technically 2, because at this point in time the third one isn't out yet, deep dungeons in Final Fantasy XIV. An instance containing a multitude of procedurally generated floors and a set of roguelike mechanics, which make them a very unique and interesting challenge from your standard MMO dungeon. Only once you clear the entirety of Palace of the Dead, by yourself, in one run, without ever dying, will one become a necromancer. Does that mean I get the ability to use forbidden magics to raise an undead army? Well, it's nothing crazy like that. The Necromancer is a title, some text that sits above your head. That's all it does. But it's not about what it does, it's about what it represents. The Necromancer title shows your dedication, knowledge, resourcefulness, patience and persistence to push through all 200, yes, 200 floors, of one of the most tedious and punishing challenges in the entire game. The Necromancer title is the end-all be-all of solo content achievements. And just straight up better than the other deep dungeon title. Like prestige and difficulty aside here, the lone hero is just nowhere as cool as the Necromancer. And again, Eureka Orthos hasn't came out at this point, but that title gets a pass. So having said all that, why am I here with 3 other people?
Hey, we can go now.
Well, in order to even have a shot at soloing Palace of the Dead, I need to get both my Etherpool arm and armor to their max level of 99, and in order to do that, I'll need to farm silver chests which can be found throughout the palace. Opening one of these chests will have a chance of upgrading either the arm or the armor by +1. Keep that chance part in mind, we'll talk more on that later. So I spent the next few hours descending the palace with different match-made groups, as deep dungeons are separated by sets of 10 floors. In between these sets, you could save your progress and choose to either take a break or delve deeper into the palace. By the way, we just got through our 60th floor. Can I get a yippee? And yeah, we're nowhere near the end. Hell, I'm not even solo attempting this yet. But if you think about just how far down in the earth that is, 60 floors is pretty deep. Like, we're so underground, there's even unsanctioned boxing matches happening in the waiting room between floor sets. So this is the type of stuff FF14 players like to do, huh? Anyways, my bet's on the cat girl. Oh, looks like I'm a little lucky. Hey, maybe I'll be back to test my luck again since I'm repeating this floor set anyways. Repeat it? Wouldn't you want to keep going down? Not in this case, because floors 51 through 60 are special. Not only is it the only set of floors outside of the first which you can choose to start a run on, it also just so happens to be the most efficient way to level any class from level 16 through 60 in the entire game. An incredibly wide level range, which means a wider range of players will be queuing for the same floor set. More players queue, less time spent in queue, meaning more floors ran, more silver chests, and more Etherpool levels. And I'm leveling my bar to boot. I think that sounds fabulous. And so the real grind to max Etherpool began. Hour after hour, I'd watch my arm and armor slowly climb up, reaching ever so closer to that sweet 99. But then I ran into a little issue. At this point in the grind, silver chests were starting to grant me levels less often. Even after 3 entire runs in a row, I only gained 1 level for each Etherpool. And with the underground boxing ring having left, it appears my luck had ran dry. So whenever I'd enter a new run, I'd let everybody know that I'd prefer going out of the way for silver chests, as many times we would skip potential silver chest rooms to move to the next floor. Seeing as I wasn't the only one queuing up with the same idea in mind, why not just throw that out there? And every group I came across was totally cool with the idea. Everyone except for one person, who I'm just gonna call Greg. It was just another standard floor 50 run, when, during a poll of mobs, I came across another silver chest, and as I ran to pop it open for that sweet, I was instead greeted with Though I barely survived, 2 of our party members were taken out, our warrior and Greg. While the warrior laughed it off as it was no big deal, Greg decided to hit me with,
"This is why you don't pop boxes during pulls."
"Ah, yes, because I am totally supposed to know these details, right?" Oh, and I put a period at the end of the sentence too. That, in an online game, that's how you know they weren't having it. And only 2 rooms after that did they tell us to stop pulling mobs to go to the next floor instead. I reiterated the message I typed to the group at the start, as everybody else seemed pretty on board with it, and then they said,
"You will get more by just moving through Palace of the Dead as fast as you can then searching for them."
Maybe they're right. But seeing as literally nobody I've come across from any of the groups these past few days have brought up such a thing, I began to have my doubts. But I didn't want to press any further, so I just went along with it. It was quiet for the rest of the run up until we beat this floor set's boss. Oh, Black Rider, time for my 15th clear. Typically, at the end of every instance, everybody gives their GGs and their TYFPs, but Greg decided that his final message would be, Damn, they were really not having it. And that's the end of my tale with Greg. Now I bet you're thinking, I probably sound like a massive baby. I could already see the would not survive a Call of Duty lobby allegations in the comments. But let me put it into perspective for you. Not only has every interaction I've had with other players so far been pretty pleasant, just a few days ago when I ran Copper Bell Mines for the first time, our tank was not just new to Final Fantasy, not just new to MMOs, but potentially new to video games. Sometimes he would go the wrong way, other times he would attempt to break the unbreakable scenery, and sometimes he would just not go at all. But our healer, the only non-sprout icon in the party, had the patience of a saint. Letting him go the wrong way so he could figure out the right one, letting him take the time to figure out the card of coal can't be broken, and giving the rundown on boss mechanics when needed. Proud of you, Celine. Great job. Which brings us back to Greg. Even though Greg's attitude was probably just the result of a bad day, it was regardless a stark contrast to everything I've experienced thus far. It was like a gunshot in a calm field. But hey, it was probably just a one-off thing, and I don't think I'll ever run into anyone like that ever again. Right? But what they said earlier had me curious. Despite the attitude, they could be right about the silver chests. So I did a little bit of research, but instead, I found something which my plan totally glanced over. So that little issue I've been having with less silver chests granting levels the further I progress my ether pool, well, that's not a coincidence. It turns out ether pool levels have diminishing returns, meaning that the higher level my arm and armor reached, the less my chance of gaining a level in either of them are. And the only way to make those returns undiminished is to queue past floors 51 through 60. Like, you know, the only floors people queue for. Well, this is gonna take a while. What do I do in the meantime? How about a little
hardcore parkour? Start by going up the stairs, jumping off the balcony, onto the roof, swerving between the spires, onto the chimney, and a 360 landing on the other roof. Play that one back. Through the spires once more, then back onto the balcony, right onto the rails and...
Oh my god, Q popped. I get in, we zoom all the way up to floor 100, and the ether pool difference is night and day. Alright, just one more loop, in and out while the Q's still hot. On floor 74, my ether pool arm hits 99. Say grats. And on the ever so fitting floor 99, so too did my ether pool armor. Okay, you really gotta say grats now. And to commemorate both my completion of the ether pool grind and my first taste of Palace of the Dead, I hereby don the achievement title, The Hero of Del Moro, granted to me for completing my first 100 floors. A seat warmer for my inevitable Necromancer title. Yeah, Gelmora was the thing that little creature went on about earlier. But back on topic, it's time to move to the next part of the plan, acquiring my new job. And not like a just put the fries in the bag bro type job, I'm talking like a class. A new set of skills to bring into my solo palace journey. I mean, Bard's cool and all, but a class job built around buffing allies that I am not going to have? Yeah, that's just not the play. But oh no, it appears I found even more oversights in my plan. because I'm just now realizing I don't even have access to all the jobs until I begin the Heavensward expansion, which I'm about 150 entire main story quests off from reaching. And with my bard now way over leveled for the content, it's about time I move, and move quickly.
It is good to see you. Tell me what...
What do you think you're doing? Rushing through the main quest line? Not on my watch. How could you?
Yeah, you did say that, huh? But didn't you also say it's not your place to tell people how to play?
Okay, yeah, but... No. Come here.
Huh?
Look, I know it seems like I'm going back on what I said, but as admirable of a goal as Necromancer is, I can't in good faith let you skip the main story, even the earlier parts, without getting you to at least give it an honest bite.
And if I do sit through it all, what makes you think I'm actively gonna listen? Like, I have 2 monitors at my desk, I could just go do something else. Hell, I'm getting a 3rd soon. So there's no way you can actually get me to pay
If you do it, I'll show you how to get a rat.
What? And just like that, my mind was changed before I knew it. Once I got to a certain point, this game hit me in the face out of nowhere with a good hook. A hook that would stay lashed onto me as I went into the first and even the second expansion. That's right, I actually halted my plans just because I wanted to know what happened next. From the amazing music and immersive zones, to all the piercing story developments and unforgettable encounters. I mean, who can ever forget their first time facing off with the one, the only, Hellbender?
Look at this slippery fuck!
I truly could not believe an MMO was telling a story this good. And though I still have a lot more to get to, I'm glad I set the time aside to experience it. So, about that pointy rodent. Welcome to This desert region is home of the major city Ul'dah, where the craftiest of capitalists, see, I'm listening to this story, exploit the last of its natural resources for the sake of quarterly profit margins. But that's none of my concern, because I'm here for one other reason, and one other reason only. Of rats. Some might say that I'm cursed, forever to be haunted by rodent-shaped plot devices. But I'd say I'm just on brand more than anything. To acquire said rat, I must bring myself to the eastern side of Thanalan, to the canyon-side settlement of Highbridge. Now, arriving here, I just assumed that the rats were free. You could just take them, right? Wrong. Because this man is the rat monopolist. Just make sure you don't tell him about the market board. He doesn't know about that. Normally when browsing his wares, he only offers whatever's on hand to keep the money laundering going, I guess. But behind his poorly hidden front is a secret shop containing a lot of cosmetics I really do not care about, and the tiny rat minion. That's what they call pets in this game. But in order to access said secret shop, I need to perform one small favor. Defending this lone village from the attack on Highbridge. A 4-part fate where I must protect this cliffside commune from the Kikern, a tribe of rat beastmen camped out in the southeast. I know. I come out here to handle rat derogatory for the sake of gaining a rat complimentary. Ironic, isn't it? Once reaching and completing that final act, can I finally acquire my funny rat.
But it won't be as straightforward as you think. Fates are designed to be group content, so unfortunately, you'll probably be all on your own. But that shouldn't be a problem for you, right, Mr. Necromancer?
You know it.
Good. Good. Oh, and by the way, you can keep that cookie.
And at the steps of Highbridge, as ready as ever for the assault, was me, the NPC guards, and the 2 role players posted up on the roof. I'll just let them have their privacy. First was the prelude. I just mindlessly took down mobs, there really wasn't much to it. Actually, I don't think you even need to complete this one to progress. Why is this even here? Next, Act 1. Within the settlement, 6 residents and 4 supply crates spawn, which I must protect from the waves of Kikern until enough are slain. If all residents are captured and all crates are destroyed, the fate fails. The strat was to take all aggro before they reach the crates and kite them around, because once they're in range, they will begin charging a cone AoE that, once channeling begins, I didn't have the tools to stop. And that proved rather effective, clocking in my ticket to Act 2. The same objectives must still be defended, but this time, along with the waves of Kikern, comes Kill Pincher Zuzurun, the giant rat derogatory that makes all the rules. Only once this boss is defeated will this fate proceed to its final act. But there's one slight problem. Whatever residents and supply crates are left from Act 1 will be all that's left for Act 2 as well. And it's not looking very good for me. Wait, it's really not looking good for me. With me down, the supplies and villagers are left defenseless, and the fate fails. Well, back to Gridania for me, and I need to make sure I get back quickly.
I'm heading to Gridania right now. Where are you guys at?
And I get to try my hands at it again. I make it to Act 2 with 4 times the amount of residents and supplies this time, but despite that, both of them get picked off, and I fail once again. Try after try, I'd continue to find myself stuck on Act 2. I kite too little, the objectives are lost. Kite too much, and I get sent into the fucking ground. I even tried to kite them by bringing them to the roof and jumping off, but they would just slide back down. They must really want that acorn cookie, huh? I just could not make that final push, no matter how close I got. I was in dire need of a change of plans. Well, I was gonna save it for a big reveal, but I guess I have no choice. But to bring out the big... what? And with the help of this mysterious stranger, the prelude and Act 1 were a total breeze. And then when Act 2 arrived, Zuzurun was no match for the stranger with the scythe. And just as soon as they arrived, they went their own way. Another helpful player I will never cross paths with again. Honestly, I'm kinda embarrassed I couldn't do this by myself. But at least that scythe job seemed pretty cool, I guess. But no time to think about that now. There's still the 3rd and final act. This time I take it to those rats, derogatory, own camp, and face off against their true leader. Nail roll. It was actually really easy. I just ran circles around him for like 4 minutes. And at long last, I've returned to finally acquire him. My little guy. Huh? So, It's about time I finally reveal my main job I'll be taking in the Palace of the Dead. Bard, thank you for getting me here. I'm sure you'll come in handy again in the future. But now, to choose one of 3 ultimate jobs. Machinist, the proud and proven ranged DPS. Warrior, the immovable and unstoppable tank. And Red Mage, the old king caster. And my choice is... Oh, come on now. Did you forget what I said at the beginning? I like to play on the edge. Meet my new main job, Reaper. A hard-hitting, high-risk melee DPS which, at the time of writing this script, only has 24 solo palace clears on the Crystal Data Center. And thematically, Reaper is just the perfect fit for a necromancer. I just need to head over and grab that job quest real quick and... Oh yeah, that's right, I still only have... Okay, there we go. Now, after all this time, my real journey is about to begin. All that's left to do is to step into the palace by myself and begin making the push to achieve my goal of becoming a
Guys, it's back! The car mount is back! Grab it at the golden saucer before it's gone again.
You know, I came here for one reason and one reason only. But one thing led to another and then another. Things aren't as straightforward as I thought it would be. And even though my goal is big, I too am just a little guy who's found myself in an even bigger world. Maybe I'm really not ready to become a necromancer just yet. So you know what? Fuck it. I'll bite. It's not bad. Bit of an acquired taste, but maybe it'll grow on me. But let me remind you, no matter where I go, what I'm hit with, or how long it takes, do not ever underestimate my dedication to the bit.
Everybody! On this very day, I declare to the world that I will become a necromancer!
Hi, thank you so much for watching. It feels so great to finally be back and to finally debut the new Tandori story. If you want to keep up with me, come follow me on these 2 hell sites. Want to take it a step further? Come join my Discord where I post video updates every so often. Want to take it even further? And come support me on the brand new Patreon. Right now I have a poll up accessible to anybody, sub or not, on what type of perks you would all like to receive from there. See you all next episode. I promise it won't take a year to come out.